Well, it's a good evening from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. You've been listening to Radio FM 88 Australia. And of course, our co-host is right at the very top, as you can probably see, just in blue. And she's in the UK. So the importance of new technology where you can be in 3 time zones because our guest is in the middle. And so I was going to say something, but anyway. Andrina, you better take it away before I crack a funny.
Hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Dreaming the New Dream, especially if you're a new listener or you're listening to the replay. So today it's the 9th of November, would you believe? And it's a number 9 day, and you know how I like my number 9s. Anyway, swiftly moving on, it's our great pleasure today to have Tom Paladino from Florida. And he's on at the unearthly hour at 4 a.m. So welcome, Tom, and thank you for being our guest today.
And a good morning, and thank you for the invite. Thanks, Andrina. Jeff, thanks.
You're very welcome. Well, Tom, you are a pioneer, an inventor, a humanitarian. You're on a huge mission. You're a researcher. So I love the work that you're doing. And I only came across you from Medina sending me an email. So thank you for taking your time. So can we start at the very beginning? Obviously, a lot of people have no idea what scalar energy is or quantum energy or all of these things. So can we start how you started your journey in life and the steps that have led you to where you are now?
Yeah, by all means. I do work with scalar energy. I'm in my laboratory with scalar energy instruments. I would say the key to my work is I work with nature. What am I getting at? Scalar energy is the energy of the sun and the stars. The great scientist Nikola Tesla built scalar energy instruments that he could extract or capture the energy from the sun and the stars. In many ways, I've modeled my career after Tesla, pursuing this new branch of physics that I term it. So I don't work with electricity. I work with a energy, scalar energy. It's from the sun and the stars. It offers incredible potential, and we'll discover that some of the potential by way of this instrumentation that I'll demonstrate today.
Okay, well, let's start at the very beginning. You were born in America.
That's correct. I'm an American. I had a wonderful childhood, an idyllic childhood, and I was fortunate enough to understand at an early age that Nikola, the great scientist, tried to introduce to the world scale he called radiant energy, which is, again, the free energy of the sun and the stars. I've pursued that course of study throughout my life. It's really an independent pursuit on my part. Scalar energy as a science is not taught by academia, but I'm happy that I've pursued this course of study because now I can demonstrate to the world through engineered instruments that this is a valid science, and I can demonstrate many benefits, in this case, quantum health benefits, to be derived from this science. So presently I'm working with quantum health. In the future, I'd like to develop scalar energy instruments that will light up a city, but I'm not there quite yet.
Oh, well, we'll do everything we can to help you along the way. So like you work with the stars and the sun energy. So, and we are,
Yes.
most of us are star seeds, aren't we? We've come from the stars,
We are.
Different planets.
Yeah.
So how, when, what was the driving force? Was it Tesla's work that you honed into this work?
Yes.
Was it like you've got a burning desire, burning passion to help humanity?
Yeah, I followed 2 scientists. Tesla, I followed as a youngster. Late in life, I was able to family by the name of Hieronymus. They were a group of inventors in the United States who developed scalar energy instruments. Now, the key to my work is I work with engineered instruments that perform a function, a favorable function, and it's a repeatable function. So we can demonstrate that we are following the laws of science, and in so doing, we can have secure, if you will, health benefits from this. Now, let me explain what I'm doing. I'm in my laboratory and I want to demonstrate this instrument is now functioning. I want to demonstrate quickly how this instrument will work. This instrument, and I'm going to just pan over and show the audience part of the instrument. This instrument is on, it's operating now. And when I'm working with this instrument, there's a great deal of scalar energy that's being magnified, broadcast from those Tesla coils. So this is a scalar energy environment. It's no longer an electrical and electromagnetic environment. Now, to demonstrate, there's so much energy that's pulsing from those Tesla coils that I can illuminate a light bulb in my laboratory.
Wow.
Okay? That's what Tesla would call radiant energy, free energy. Here's another example of a red light bulb. And we just place that close to the Tesla coil and it illuminates. Now, what Tesla discovered and what I discovered, this energy will pass through the earth. It will pass through galaxies. Nothing can stop scalar energy. So here's an experiment that I would like to demonstrate. This is a cutting board, a culinary board. If I place this culinary board by the instrument, that culinary board, that wooden board does not represent an obstacle. I can still illuminate a light bulb. The energy passes through the wooden board, okay? So what am I trying to demonstrate? This is a new type of energy, so to speak. This is not electricity. Right? You cannot do that with your refrigerator. You cannot accomplish that with your toaster, okay? So this is scalar energy, the energy of the future. Now, in practice, when I work with this energy, I don't work with people. Hold on to your hats. In practice, with photograph. Why? This is scalar, transcends time and space. A photograph transcends time and space. Now, a good example, there are 3 continents now that are hosting this show. I'm in the United States, and Drina's in Europe, our mate Jeff's in Australia. Now, we can share information at a distance. Well, I can share information at a distance through a person's photograph. So to be clear, there's no in-person session. I don't work with chemicals. A photograph, my photograph has a signal on it. And I can access that signal by placing my photograph inside the instrument. That's a lot to take in, I know, but
it's amazing. I mean, and by you showing the light bulb lighting up through the wood in that, we should all be having these in our homes eventually.
That's one of my goals. Now, if I can illuminate a light bulb locally, right? Why can't I? Eventually, I should be able to illuminate a city at a distance. So the day is coming, Jeff. Now, mark my word, Jeff, I'll be able to illuminate a city in Australia.
What's happened to the light?
No.
Amazing, eh? Seeing
this new field.
Ah.
It's just so promising where we're going with this. Free energy, the energy of the sun and the stars. Imagine what that means to mankind. We won't have to dig for coal or drill for oil.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, so so some of this is way above my understanding. I mean, your workshop, if you like, behind. I mean, how did you start? Did you start with a little something and then you've built it and built it and built it?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough when I was working in the United States with this Hieronymus family. Galen Hieronymus invented scalar energy instruments. So this prototype is really a modification of a Hieronymus instrument. I'm not the originator. Tessa and Hieronymus were the first scientists who developed these instruments. Now, you have to start somewhere. Thank you for showing that. That's the patent from Galen Hieronymus that he was awarded from the U.S. government for a free energy instrument. Now, I don't think the U.S. government quite understands what they awarded a patent for. That patent is really one of the few patents, I presume, the only patent awarded for a free energy instrument. So this in the future will change the economic order. Now, getting back to my work, I was fortunate enough to work with this Hieronymus family. The Hieronymus family actually sold scalar energy instruments, miniature scalar energy instruments. I learned from their schematics, and then I built a very strong scalar energy instrument, and that's what I'm working with now in my laboratory. An instrument that's so strong that I could work with one person, I can work with 20 or 30 people, I can work with 1 million people a day with this instrument through the photographic force field.
Incredible. Okay, so when you ask people, like I said, when I connected with you, I sent my picture to you, and so when people send you their picture via email, how do you work with that? How do you store it? Does it go in a computer program? Or do they go in alphabetical order? Do they go in date order? Because I know, like, you offer 15 days free trial, and then afterwards they can pay and can continue on. So how does your computer or it store all your pictures?
You're right. Every day we receive a collage, photographs by way of a computer program that will upload the photographs and place them on a collage. Now, again, all of my work is done through photographs because the photograph is the signal. Much like we're having a conversation through our computers, we can share information through our computers. So I actually take a photograph of people, a collage, and I place it inside the instrument. Now, the first function that I perform is a chakra balance. I'm going to go back to my light bulb. If I can illuminate a light bulb, then I can illuminate brain waves and I can illuminate chakras. So imagine if I take a light bulb and I can illuminate it. Well, that's the identical energy going into a person through their chakras, through their brain waves. Here, demonstrating this on myself. This instrument is bright enough, strong enough to illuminate a light bulb. That white light, that divine energy is going into me through the photographic force field. So this is not a chemical process. It's a photographic process. You can only achieve this with the scalar energy instrument. Now, you've heard many people before can see an aura or can see energy on a photograph. That's valid. Every photograph carries a signature. A person's energy field is on a photograph.
So do people, like after they've had the 2 weeks and then they like to sign up for more, do they ask you that they like somebody might have cancer or, you know, brain tumor? Do they ask you, can you work specifically with a certain ailment?
Right. I do not do that because I want to stay away from medical terms and medical treatment. This is not medicine. This is a new science in which we work with energy fields. We don't work with chemicals or surgery. This is not a pharmaceutical process. So what's my point? My sessions are standardized. Now, we're going to offer everybody 15 days of free sessions. And one of the protocols that we offer, once again, is the chakra balance. For 1 hour a day, when people send me their photograph, I will download this white light into a person's aura or into their quantum field. Imagine for 1 hour a day, you're experiencing that chakra balancing. The identical amount of energy going into that light bulb is the same energy going into your 7 chakras. It's very powerful. 1 hour a day, a chakra balance. That's part of our protocol.
Yeah, I like the fact what you're saying. No medicines, no procedures needed. This is pure light energy.
Yes, and because of that, there's no chemical consequence. There's no die-off. You cannot have a rash. You cannot have a pimple. There's no muscle or joint pain, right? You cannot have an asthmatic reaction to a photograph. So when I work with light, the scalar light is again from the sun and the stars. My work is flawless because the instrument does the work, the energy does the work. I do not perform any action. It's all divine action. And secondly, working with light, you don't have to deal with physical consequences. You don't have to deal with a chemical die-off. You don't have to deal with a chemical reaction. It's a flawless technique. There's no downside. There are no negative consequences. Light never makes a mistake. And obviously your photograph is a force field. It's in your aura. It's, if you will, your signature of light.
Incredible.
It's fascinating.
Incredible.
It is. It's a win-win because it not only works, but there's no negative consequence. There's no negative reaction.
And that's what we're all working towards on different levels, to get away from all these and to go back to our ancient ways and wisdom, you know, herbs and different things, to bring all this back into being now, because we've all lost, well, not all of us, but some of us have lost our way, you know, with other things that have taken over or dumbed people down or shut people down in different ways. And it's like, I just say we're the underground movement. We're coming up all underground in different ways to help one another. I mean, so right, Andrew is asking, and I got to borrow it. Is there any radiation side effects?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, because it's not electricity.
Mm.
And now, to be clear, scalar energy, there's not an electron involved. It's massless. There's no mass. So I'm working with non-physical reality. And on account of that fact, you cannot have a physical consequence. It's information. It's intelligence. Some people would call this consciousness chi or prana. Now, can you have a negative reaction to chi? No. Consciousness? No. Why? It's non-physical. It's without mass. There's not an electron or proton involved. It's win-win. This is why I've devoted my career to this. I've never had a negative consequence. I've never had a negative reaction, because it's impossible when you're working with the photograph. I don't work with people. Let me be clear. My energy field is what I access. People can be in two places at once through their photograph. So what am I getting at? A photograph afford a person to locate. If Jeff sent me his photograph from Australia, Jeff would be inside my laboratory by way of his photograph. So Jeff can bilocate to my laboratory. And all of that's accomplished in the quantum field. I mean every word of that. You can multi-locate, you can bilocate by way of your photograph.
Wow, incredible. So is it just that, is it just that silver device that's behind you, like a coil?
Yes, this is the Tesla coil with that will amplify the energy. Now, once again, I'm just going to show the audience part of the instrument here. Now, this vacuum tube really sets up the scalar wave. I only work with vacuum tubes. I don't work with solid state. So this is the scalar energy instrument. The key to this instrument is we can capture a scalar wave. We're creating a scalar wave. Okay, if you have an electrical outlet, an electrical appliance, you're working with electrical current. This is not electricity. This is free energy from the sun and the stars. There's a big difference. That's the key to my work. I do not work with electricity. Now, if you notice, this instrument, there's no moving parts. You don't see a motor. There's no moving parts. So what's the key? The key is we access the energy of the sun and the stars. The kinetic energy is scalar energy itself. Okay, this is my gold mine, so to speak. The energy is kinetic itself. You do not have to have a motor that produces some type of an induction motor with motion. No, the motion is scalar energy itself.
So have you been approached by other people wanting to come in with you to work with you using this modality?
No, and I'll tell you why. It takes a lot of work. I've been at this my entire life. And if you really want to get into this science, you have to make it a career. Nobody has shown any interest to devote themselves as a career. And then there's another very powerful force, business. This is not an industry. I don't know how you could make money at this at the present moment. So without a paycheck, this is still a science in its infancy.
Wow. What was I going to ask you then?
It's a bit like Tesla talking to Westinghouse, talking to
Yes.
and the current wars, isn't it? And the old J.P. Morgan said, "Well, where am I going to make the money?" And he said, "Well, we don't."
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jeff. Let me elaborate upon that. Tesla started with AC electricity, where you could make money, and then Tesla developed scalar energy towers like this, free energy towers. Well, when it's free, you can't make money, or your ability to make money is significantly reduced. There's no scarcity. So Tesla was receiving financing from JP Morgan and the Rothschilds. Once JP Morgan and the Rothschilds realized that this is free energy, they withdrew all financing, they withdrew all support whatsoever. So to be clear, if this industry is going to expand and this is going to become the norm, this will change the economic order. And I mean that quite literally. Scalar energy, free energy will make obsolete many existing technologies.
Have you thought about packaging and making smaller at some point, getting this out to people?
Yeah, I have. Here's the problem. I don't have the money to manufacture. And secondly, if I were to manufacture these instruments, then it carries a great deal of responsibility because this can be used improperly. So what do I envision? I envision one learning center where the instruments are, if you will, in one location and people can come and visit and learn, or at least see the instruments in operation. Now I'm going to explain another technique. There's so many things you can do with scalar energy, so just follow me. Now keep in mind, people, I want you to think along the terms of energy, light. Don't think in physical terms, just think of non-physical light. I'm going to hold up a photograph of the Epstein-Barr virus. Everything I do is by way of photographs. A photograph is the source of light. So this is a magnified photograph of Epstein-Barr. Sometimes Epstein-Barr has been associated with mononucleosis. Now, if I were to place my photograph side by side the photograph of Epstein-Barr, and again, there's only communication here, there's a sharing of information. The signal of Epstein-Barr, the signature, can be found in my photograph. This instrument behind me will look at the character, the signal of Epstein-Barr, find Epstein-Barr as a force field, as a signal in my quantum field, and bring that signal to a state of chaos. So a photograph of Epstein-Barr identifies the signal of Epstein-Barr in me. The instrument nullifies, brings to a state of chaos Epstein-Barr. The Epstein-Barr virus breaks down, it's transmuted, it's reduced to chaos. The Epstein-Barr virus ceases to exist. It's shattered, it's fragmented. I achieve that through instructions, not through chemicals. I achieve that with an instructive instrument, scalar energy are instructions, downloading a signal of Epstein-Barr, finding that signal in my photograph, and eradicating Epstein-Barr.
Amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
So everything has a signature to it, frequency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why this works. Now, keep in mind, if I work on this fundamental level, energy is fundamental. Energy never makes mistake. So once again, if I take a photograph, say of a bacterium, I only work with photographs. This is my medicine, so to speak. This is quantum medicine. And I match up my photograph to Streptococcus. The energy of that bacterium is found inside of me. If I can locate Streptococcus, this instrument then will find that bacterium, break it apart, or reduce it to a state of chaos. So really, this is homeopathy by way of energy, not by way of a reagent, not by way of tinctures.
Gotcha.
What's the key? It works. It's a process that works because I work with energy and there's no human action. I want to make that very clear. I don't input my thinking into this instrument. The energy does all the work, much like a jet airplane or your car or your refrigerator. You don't have to think for your car. Your car functions. This instrument functions. Okay? This instrument performs certain functions. If I ask this instrument to find Streptococcus as a signal, it will do so and it will eliminate that signal. All of my work is signals, energy. Now, I'm going to share this also with the audience. Now, the key to my work right now are testimonies. And to be very candid, nobody has this instrument, so nobody can prove or disprove what I'm doing. Okay, right. That's how cutting edge this is. Nobody's been able to duplicate my work. Okay, so nobody can prove my work. The only way I can prove my work is really through anecdotal testimonies. I'm going to hold up. This is a PCR test. This person had herpes for years. And after submitting their photograph to me, this person had 2 back-to-back PCR tests. Both test results now are negative. No viral load for herpes.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Here's another PCR test for a person who had herpes for 30 years. After my test, this person had a follow-up, a PCR test. You could see not detected. No viral load for herpes. Now that's unprecedented.
It's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. But according to the 4,000 people who've submitted testimonies to my website, here's another PCR test for shingles. No viral load. Here's a PCR test result for HIV. After submitting a photograph, there's no viral load for HIV. So this begs the question, why is it that people from around the world can send me their photographs, and after I work with them, these people account that there's no viral load for Epstein-Barr. There's no viral load whatsoever. It cannot. What I'm doing cannot be explained by Newtonian physics. What I'm doing is not Newtonian physics. What I'm doing cannot be explained by what we call modern day medicine. This is not medicine. No. Have you ever sent your photograph to your dentist? No.
I doubt it.
No. Has a surgeon ever worked on a photograph? No. This is a new science. It's a new approach. Okay. This has never been duplicated before, except through Hieronymus, who's my predecessor. Hieronymus, God bless him, the great scientist, is deceased. Nobody carries on with his work, with the exception of myself.
Sorry, what was his name again?
Galen Hieronymus.
Oh, yeah,
Galen Hieronymus, an American inventor. You showed his patent. He received a U.S., Canadian, and a British patent for his work. And he was acknowledged, and he was, in his day, he was really considered the genius behind what some people call radionics or scalar energy or holoptic energy. But sadly, it just, it never took. It's so hard for some people to grasp that there's another dimension. There's something besides electricity. I never work with electricity. I work with another energy, scalar energy. And that scalar energy dimension allows me to access anything, including a signature on a photograph.
Honestly, this is just incredible. I mean, what you're doing. So if we get all of our listeners, and I'll email everybody out and send you a link. If we get everybody emailing you back with their photo, and then obviously you do the rest. But this is the way we can get this beautiful scalar healing energy going, or scalar energy going all around the planet.
Yes, that's what I want. Thank you. So, and to be clear to your audience, I work alone, not by choice. Nobody else is following up with this work. So I'm one theorist, I'm one inventor, I'm one researcher. I need help. The only way we can promulgate this is through a grassroots effort. So again, I tip my hat to and Drina and to Jeff, this is what I need. I need to be able to show my work, to demonstrate my work. I need people to visit my website and start asking the question, well, why is it that people no longer have a viral load for Epstein-Barr and the herpes virus? What's the point? What is Tom doing? Why is this so successful? Why is it that people who had the Lyme spirochete no longer have any indication of Lyme spirochete? The key is to present my work and for people to sign up for my 15-day free session. Then I let people judge this new science.
Okay, so Andrina and Tom, we've got questions here. I haven't put them up, but would you like to go through?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Do you want to read them, or shall I read them?
I'll read that. Is energy that is sent in other types of distance healing also scalar? Yes. Now, what's a scalar wave? A thought or a prayer. Now consider thinking or praying or meditation is not bound by space and time. So this scalar wave is not bound by space and time. Scalar energy permeates the universe. A thought or a prayer permeates the universe. So yes, you can heal with the mind. Or some people have healing hands. You can heal by placing hands on people. Healing hands are scalar light hands. The science behind healing hands is scalar energy, scalar light. The science behind telepathy is scalar telepathy. The science behind positive thinking is a scalar wave. The science behind prophecy, the science behind clairvoyance, that's the scalar realm. Is clairvoyance real? Yes. Can people some people see into the future? Yes. Why? Scalar energy opens up that vista.
So have you had any on any photos? Because I've seen a couple. I think there was a divine one, but I didn't really. There was one that you sent me that was amazing.
Yes.
I don't know if you sent it to Jeff as well.
I'll elaborate. What we're looking at in this photograph is a shaft of light, scalar light. Now, when you have a lightning strike, it always initiates a scalar energy. You can see that as lightning on the horizon. But very importantly, the camera just isolated the scalar wave when it was forming. Now look at that vertical shaft of white light. That is always produced when lightning initiates. Lightning always initiates as scalar energy. And at the right shutter speed, you can isolate a shaft of light. That's pure white scalar energy. Now, by the way, Tessa in Colorado Springs was able to create lightning bolts, lightning shafts. Why? Because it's scalar energy that drives a lightning bolt or a lightning storm. So what's the key here? That's another indication of free energy. Lightning is the free energy of the universe. If we could tap into lightning, that lightning would allow us to illuminate the world, to power the world. Here's another photograph. This priest is carrying a monstrance, the Holy Eucharist. You could see that bright white light, once again, a shaft of light. Now, scalar energy is divine. Scalar energy is not electricity. It's not a movement of electrons. It's not an electronic force field, if you will. So when we see scalar energy, you're really seeing source of what people call divine energy. I call it Christ consciousness, or simply it's just divine light. That's how important this is. Remember, I said scalar energy is non-physical. Yes, it's non-physical. Why? It's made out of, it's really the essence of God. God is not an electron or a proton. It's non-physical divine light.
There was another one that you had. I'm not sure. Did you, with Mother Mary on? There was another figure, a divine.
Yeah. Let me make this clear. If we were to go to heaven, I believe there's a heaven. You'd only find scalar energy. Now, just think of this theoretically. If heaven is perfect and you cannot age and you cannot die, then you cannot have an electromagnetic environment. The electromagnetic environment is entropy. You have a loss of signal. You have chemical decomposition, etc., etc. So if we go to heaven, it has to be something besides electricity and magnetism. I firmly believe that there is a heaven, and it's 100% Christ consciousness. It's 100% divine energy, divine light. That's the only way you can have a perpetual field, a force field. Now, so if that stands to reason, and if heaven is perpetual energy, it is, then all we have to do is capture perpetual energy, and we can solve the energy crisis. Perpetual energy, constant energy, energy that never diminishes, that is the solution for our energy crisis.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we've got some more questions. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By all means.
There you go.
Right.
Yes.
Siddhika.
Yes. Go ahead. You can read that question.
Right. Siddhika says, does your system work with mental, emotional, spiritual issues as well as physical?
Yes, to answer your question, I'm going to go back to this demonstration with chakras with a light bulb. Now, that white light entering into my force field is corrective energy. Many people who've signed up for our programs tell us that this chakra bouncing allows them to sleep better. It gives them greater mental clarity. Some people say that the chakra bouncing has removed drug addiction or alcohol addiction from them. Others say that this has helped them with depression or anxiety. Some people say that the chakra bouncing has helped them reduce their food intake. They can moderate their habits. Some people say this has eliminated bad habits such as procrastination or perhaps being addicted to social media. So it's a correction of conscious. This is what I love about scalar energy. It corrects the mind. It corrects our conscience, giving us the distinction between right and wrong. Many people have said, Tom, I no longer have a desire for alcohol. Now, I'm not a drug counselor, and I'm not trying to be flippant. So the energy seems to have this download of information that allows people to get rid of their drug addiction, their alcohol addiction. So this is corrective energy. So the answer to the question, yes, this seems to have the ability to correct an emotional disturbance or to correct a phobia or to correct a bad habit. That to me is really so promising for those with mental health issues.
And now more than ever, there's people really suffering with mental health issues, with all the different things that have gone on in the last few years where people haven't been able to see people and, not going into any of it, but there's been a huge wave of people leaving the planet, can't cope, and just can't cope normally. So this is fantastic. What you're doing. So when you get the photo, like you say, it balances the chakras. It just the scalar energy just goes to wherever it needs to go in the body.
Yes, exactly. So there's no human thought to this. Now, I'm not trying to diminish my effort, but nonetheless, this is divine energy. It does not need my input. God does not need my input. So I'm going to be very clear with the audience. My sessions are standardized. I do not diagnose. I let the energy diagnose. I do not cure. If there's any cure, it's from God. So I'm going to, once again, go over and explain the 3 protocols. It's a standardized program. Number 1, we can balance the chakras. Again, so if we can illuminate a light bulb, then we can illuminate the mind. We can illuminate the chakras. Number 2, I can, by way of photographs, I can identify the energy, the signature of a photograph, and remove it with this instrument. Number 3, I haven't mentioned this yet. I take photographs, everything's a photograph, of vitamins or minerals or antioxidants. And that photograph of vitamin E, I can match up with my photograph. Now follow my thinking. Everything, including a vitamin, has energy. I can download the energy of vitamin E into me. I do this through photographs, so there's no human interpretation. This is how I receive my multivitamin. I don't take vitamins. I don't take supplements. I eat well, and my supplement is through energy, not through chemicals, through energy. I can download vitamin E into my quantum field. The new science that is non-physical, non-chemical. I receive my vitamins through energy in my energy field, my scalar energy field. So I can receive vitamins through scalar energy. Quite fascinating. It's the way to go in the future. If I wanted vitamin A, I can download that into me. If I wanted folic acid, I can download that into me. All by way of photographs that carry the energy. A photograph has the energy signature. If I want B9 folate, I simply place this photograph of B9 in the instrument and it communicates with me. It's an energetic process.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. I take my hat off to you. What you're doing is the world needs us now more than ever. Yeah, so Maria says, I worked in addictive behaviors and would work well together along with the 12-step program.
This has helped many people overcome drug addiction, alcohol addiction. Many people have said, Tom, after a couple months of your program, I no longer enjoy more than one drink of alcohol. They don't drink excessively. So it seems to moderate behavior. So it works for some people to the point that they're no longer alcoholics.
That's fantastic. Carol says, do people have to send you info of what they are or might be suffering from to enable you to do your device to effect a cure? Well, no, we've already covered that, haven't we?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me elaborate. No, I never diagnose, and please don't tell me your medical history. I'm not a medical professional. I let the instrument do all the work. So again, I want to be clear. The standardized program will balance chakras, will eliminate pathogens, and will provide nutrients all through the energy field. Now, this is not a cure-all. I want to be very clear. This science is still in its infancy. But what I've just described, those 3 protocols, they work. And why do they work? Because I'm working with light. Light never makes a mistake. And this light instrument can perform those 3 functions: chakra balancing, microbial cleanse, nutrient program.
Right. So, another one here. Is scalar energy the driving force behind radionics and prosoponics?
Yes. So many people have looked at radionics and they can't explain it. They say, well, this doesn't behave like electricity. You're right. Radionics is not electricity. It's a different science. It's a different branch of physics. It's scalar physics. So now we can finally understand why some people have telepathy. Now we can understand why some people can lay hands and heal you. Those are scalar energy hands. Now we understand what causes a lightning bolt. It's a download of scalar energy. Now we finally can understand that the dream state is really a scalar energy realm that people find themselves in. That we can transcend time and space in our dreams, and our thoughts do that all the time. This is why dreams and thoughts are scalar waves. They're not bound by space and time. If you've ever thought of the concept of a thought has to have a universe to accommodate us. Okay, in other words, a thought is a brain wave. It's a thought wave. And if a thought can transcend time and space, then we have to have a universe that will accommodate the thought. Well, what universe will accommodate something that transcends time and space? Scalar energy. So you have to have a universe that matches up to a physical or a mental construct. What allows us to think? It's scalar energy. Why can we think? Scalar energy gives us the thought. So what am I getting at? All human thought, prayer, meditation is really a scalar wave. It's not an electrical current. This is why the human mind is so incredible. It's filled with scalar intelligence.
Right, I did have a thought then, but right. Carol says, are there any similarities with the EE system?
I'm going to say, if there are, I don't know of them. This instrument behind me that I'm showing the audience is custom built. Okay. And I don't think anybody has duplicated my work yet. So I'm just going to say my work is unique, and I just keep it at that.
Yeah. Right. Are you familiar with Dr. Stephen Greer's free energy project claiming a universal tapped energy source linked to UFOs?
I am somewhat. Let me say this. I've seen photographs of UFOs. Let's just call them UFOs. And they can accelerate and deaccelerate quickly. The only way you could achieve that is with scalar energy. Let me explain. Scalar energy is the cause of gravity. Scalar energy allows us to overcome gravitational force. So if there is no gravitational force, you can easily accelerate or deaccelerate quickly. So the key to the future of transportation is scalar energy. If we can overcome gravity, we have the perfect means of transportation. Scalar energy is the cause of gravity. If you can manipulate scalar energy, you can manipulate gravity. That's the perfect vehicle for transportation.
Wow. Right. I was just thinking, so when you do a podcast, do you find then you get a massive influx of people's pictures coming through?
Yeah, we do, to answer your question. This is why it's necessary to have a computer uploader. Well, we'll receive photographs all night long. I'm sleeping, by the way, at night, obviously.
Glad to hear it.
A little joke there. So the computer uploads the photographs throughout the day. Now, a little bit later in my laboratory today, I will work with 500,000 photographs. 500,000 photographs. I have in my instrument today 500,000 photographs.
Wow, that's incredible. Is that the most that you've ever worked with at this moment in time?
Yeah, that's correct. We're growing. When I came public with my work 12 years ago, I was lucky to introduce one person. Now it's catching on. Why? It works. I'm going to share this with the audience. How does this work? Because it's light. Light never makes a mistake. I'm going to share this photograph. This is a photograph from a clinic. It's called Om Prakash. It's an HIV/AIDS clinic in Delhi, India. Om Prakash Clinic of people living with HIV/AIDS. We've worked with over 5,000 people in Delhi, India. Now, everybody in this photograph at one time was HIV positive. After sending their photograph to me, nobody shows a viral load. Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody.
That's incredible.
Here's one of the test results from Om Prakash. Undetected. No viral load.
Incredible. Do you think you could show the light again and show with the orange light as well? Because I think that stands out more than the light. For anybody that's sort of tuned in later in the show, just show them again.
So anywhere close to this instrument, we have a scalar wave force field. Okay. So around this Tesla coil, this light bulb will illuminate. Now, to demonstrate, scalar energy passes through anything. Nothing can impede this because it's not a physical matter. It's massless. So if I place a wooden board by the Tesla coil, the light bulb will still illuminate under the influence of scalar energy. Nothing can impede this light. So what's the point? It will travel throughout the galaxies and nothing can stop it. This is not an electrical experiment, obviously. This is scalar energy.
So those light bulbs, are they LEDs or are they the old?
Yes, they are. Correct.
So we've seen that you come about 3 inches off that coil.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the key. If I place a person's photograph close to the coil, okay, they're going to enjoy that scalar energy force field. It's a different environment. It's no longer an electromagnetic environment. And in this force field of scalar energy, we can do incredible things. This is the key to my work. So when your photograph is in a scalar energy environment, we negate electricity and magnetism. There's two force fields. You're no longer in an electromagnetic force field. You're in a scalar energy force field, which is a different physics, And there are different laws that abide by this force field. So we can access a person through the scalar energy force field, not by way of their photograph. I can't access a person by way of electricity through their photograph.
Sure. So in the Christ consciousness, or in the God I am principle, when people have those interventions,
Yes.
And we're using the word angelic realm, archangel realm, or whatever,
Yes.
and they have an intervention, that intervention is coming from the scalar world.
Yes.
Boom, boom.
Yes. If you want to explain the miracles, especially the miracles in the Bible, you have to use scalar energy. Scalar energy is the animating force behind miracles. God works with the superior energy, scalar energy. God does not work with electricity. So when you're looking at the spiritual realm, you say to yourself, well, if an angel can walk through a wall, they can. How do they do that? Well, the same way that scalar energy will allow an angel to walk through this wooden board. See, all of my work is non-physical. It's angelic energy. And this wooden board is no match for scalar energy. So if an angel can walk through a wall, scalar energy can walk through that wooden board and illuminate the light bulb. This is the white light of heaven.
So that, when people say, oh, the spirit just walked straight through the wall. Now,
Yes.
You can see how.
Exactly. That's why I show the wooden board. Nothing can impede the spirit dimension. Now, keep in mind, when I work with people around the world through their photograph, it's spirit energy. It's non-physical light that I'm sending. And keep in mind, I don't need an infrastructure. Now, it's kind of obvious if I can access a person through their force field, through their energy field, I don't need satellites. Now, why am I saying this? I don't need satellites. I don't need transformers. I don't need power plants. I do not need cell phone towers. The infrastructure is free. It's the universe. So once we start with this new type of energy generation, gone are cell phones, gone are cell phone towers. We don't need satellites. You don't need step-down transformers. You don't need conduit in your house. You don't need any electrical wire. You don't need substations. All of that is obsolete. Scalar energy is free energy, and the infrastructure is free. What more do you want?
Exactly.
Well, we've seen the likes of Encyclopedia Britannia disappear. We've seen the likes of Kodak Eastman go with digital. We've seen the likes of taxis go to Uber.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of disruptive industries come forth, isn't it? So we do have some other questions, because you really fired them all up there, Tom, baby.
Can I ask about pets as well? Can people send a picture of their animals?
Please. Yes, please send photographs of your animals. Now, I'm going to mention a few things. I have 2 dogs, and my dogs are healthy. Now, if I lift up the lip of my dog and I look at his jowls, the jowls are pink. Why? Because my dog doesn't have bacterial infection. My dog has pink jowls. His mouth is pink. It shows a lack of bacterial fungal infection. Okay. So now, why is that noteworthy? Well, my dog doesn't brush his teeth, and my dog doesn't use mouthwash. What's the point? I work with my dog every day, and my dog is bacterial free. He is germ free. Why? Because scalar energy will source out streptococcus, the energy of streptococcus, and reduce it to a state of chaos. And by the way, Jeff, somebody a couple months ago sent me a photograph of a kangaroo in Australia. Kangaroo had bacterial infection. And I worked with the kangaroo through the photograph. I've never been to Australia. And lo and behold, the person said the kangaroo is healthy now without bacterial infection.
Fantastic.
Okay, we've got questions after questions here. I'll go to this one first, because I think it's going to answer.
Yeah. We offer 15 days of free sessions to anybody in the world. This is how I get my work out to introduce it to everybody. I want everybody in the world to sign up at least once for the free sessions. Thereafter, we have a cost of $89 a month. It's $3 a day. We try and keep it very inexpensive.
And you won't, like you say, you won't need vitamins, you won't need your minerals. You'll be finely attuned. Right. Diane says, you mentioned that lightning is scalar energy. Having been hit by lightning, it caused the brain to only see whiteout, and this lasted for a week. Does an impact of charge by scalar energy bring change? I believe this is recognized by a branch of healers.
Okay, so Diane, you are unique. If she's been hit by lightning, God bless you. You had a download of scalar energy, and that white light, you could almost compare that to when St. Paul was knocked off his horse. That white light blinded him, so to speak, but it didn't kill him. Now, and I'm saying this in all candor, when you're struck by lightning, if the lightning is still in its scalar form, you're just going to have this download of information, of white light. God forbid if lightning starts to degrade into electricity, you could be electrocuted by a lightning strike. Now, this shows you the two outcomes of people who are struck by lightning. Some people are struck by lightning, and the lightning is still scalar energy, it hasn't degraded, and that white light just goes through you, and it's like a powerful chakra balancing. If a lightning bolt has already degraded into electricity, it could kill you.
Okay, right.
Okay, hang on, I've got some more questions. Yeah.
All right, Sequoia says, the light of the Christ consciousness, what we all came here to be.
Yes, thank you. And this goes back to my thought that in heaven, you only have scalar light, you don't have electricity. Electricity is entropy. It's loss of signal. You cannot have perpetual life if you have perpetual chemical degradation. In heaven, you are non-physical, you're spirit, you transcend time and space, you don't depend upon electrons and protons, you can pass through a wall, and you're not subject to electricity and magnetism. This is why in a scalar energy force field, it's the energy force field of heaven.
Right. Sidicus says, does your computer program print out the collages of photos so they are placed in the scalar field?
Yes.
And how long does the photo need to be in the field for the healing to take place?
When you sign up, for instance, for the 15-day free session, every night I receive a photo collage from the computer-generated process. I print out the photographs, and I actually place the photograph inside the instrument. So that photo collage of people is experiencing the healing right now of scalar energy. That's a chakra balancing for those people. So it's a computer-generated program, but I actually have to physically print out the photos.
So you've got a good printer and a good computer.
Yeah, we have a commercial enterprise here. I'm not working out of my pickup truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Is there any more questions, or is that?
There is one there by Andrew, but I'm not going to put it up.
Right. Okay.
I don't. Whilst it has merit, I don't think that's where we want to go with that question. For the positives I'm looking for. There we go.
Right. Sequoia says there is a platform. I have just asked to be on a global platform that is looking for visionaries to fund projects like this for global healers and light workers. So there you are. There's the next connection.
Okay. Well, Sequoia, get in touch with me because I want to work with people around the world. There's no reason why I should have this technology and that I should not be working with 5 million photographs a day. Okay. This is simple and easy. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody can take a photograph. The 15-day free session on our website is always up. Anybody in the world can upload photographs. Anybody. So why wait? We allow everybody in the world one free session. This way we can at least introduce it to the world. With my limited resources, I can at least introduce this to millions of people through the free program.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything else for me. It's just been absolutely fascinating. Honestly, I really love and honor the work that you're doing for humanity. And, you know, we'll do everything we can, and we'll email out people with the link, and we'll give the link and share the link. So does it need, Siddika is asking, does it need to be a recent one?
Siddika, you are a genius. This photograph is 3 years old. Scalar energy does not recognize time. Scalar energy is outside of time. So the age of the photograph doesn't matter. Now, by the way, when you send me your photograph, you bilocate to my laboratory. You're in 2 places at once. So if you send me your photograph, Jeff, you're still in Australia, but your bilocated version, your photograph, is inside my instrument. So what does this prove? This proves that bilocation, quantum entanglement, call it what you will, is real.
Well, I've always wanted to do teleportation.
Yeah.
It's teleportation. Jeff is going to send me his photograph, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to teleport to my laboratory, okay, through the quantum field. So when you're non-physical, you can pass through matter, or Jeff can pass through the Earth from Australia to my laboratory in Florida through the quantum field, which is non-physical.
Well, make sure you're back in time for next week's show. Right. Okay. Is there anything else? I mean, you've just shared so much and it's been awesome. So is there anything else that you would like to say before we go?
Let's change the world. What Tesla tried to do 100 years ago, he was blocked. Why? Because Tesla did not have good people like Andrina and Jeff. Now we have people who can promulgate this message through radio, through podcasts. Now is our opportunity. What Tesla could not achieve because he was blocked, we now can achieve because of a grassroots effort. Everybody within earshot of this conversation, tell somebody in your family about this. You can have your entire family sign up and send in photographs for the free sessions. You could tell everybody in Australia, for that matter, to sign up. That's the only way we can get this information out there. Big media is not going to help me. Big media has never helped me. Big media is my enemy.
Yeah, of course. But we're with you. We're all behind you. So we're closing these doors down and bringing the light out to the universe, to the world. So, wow. Well, we would do right. Diane says, can I say that having a number of near-death experiences I have witnessed brings that I know in their scalar form? I'm not sure.
Beings.
Yeah. Well, everybody has a guardian angel, and that guardian angel is pure scalar light. And that's, again, why an angel can pass through a physical wall.
Right. Carol says, tribal people used to dislike having their photos taken because they believed it captured their souls.
And Carol, you're absolutely right. Your audience are filled with geniuses. My photograph captures my soul, mind, and body. My predecessor, Hieronymus, was working with the Apollo astronauts by way of their photographs while they were orbiting the moon. Meaning what? Distance does not stop a scalar wave. I could monitor astronauts while they're on the moon through their photograph.
Right. Is this like the Spooky 2 system? I don't know the Spooky 2, so I've heard of it.
I don't think so, because my instrument is unique. I can't compare my instrument to other instruments. The gentleman also asked, is this orgone energy? Yes. Orgone energy is another name for scalar energy or consciousness. Yes.
I just going through to see before we go, just having a quick switch.
Okay.
Any other questions there?
Great questions. You have a lively audience. Very
That's
much
the plan.
appreciate. Yeah, very much appreciate.
No,
yes.
We're all here to help each other.
Yeah, Andrina, read that comment from Sequoia.
Yeah, now she's my dear friend in Oz, and something about this is going to sweep the planet, and we are going to be the ones that are going to sweep it around the planet. Yeah. So we will do everything to support you.
Please do so. I'm going to make this statement. I could easily, with this instrument, I could easily work with 5 million photographs a day. I could easily receive 5 million photographs and place them in that instrument a day. So keep that in mind. This is global healing, people. You don't have to leave your home. You could sit at home. The photograph is your representation.
Fantastic.
Okay, so before you go, do that one more thing with the breadboard and then the light.
Okay. So again, anywhere close to this Tesla coil is scalar energy environment. So everybody in those photographs is experiencing that white light.
Look at that.
Amazing, incredible.
It's a new era. We're going into this new era of scalar energy, Christ consciousness, in which everybody will be now benefiting from white light.
Oh, hang on. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, when we talked off here, we talked about the Bosnian pyramids and what was going on in the pyramids. That was a subject in itself with the pyramids producing scalar energy, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Many people have recognized that there's a different environment inside a pyramid. Many pyramids are collectors of scalar energy. This is why some people can venture into some pyramids and they can be cured. Why are they cured? The environment inside a pyramid is a very strong scalar energy force field. So it's the force field that cures. It's not me. It's the energy field that cures.
And I saw Carol flashed up saying that she, awesome, thank you. And I'm already feeling better since you added my photo a few days ago. I am sleeping better and have clearer thinking.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. That's the chakra balancing. If we can realign your chakras quickly with this energy, imagine that amount of light going into your mind. Okay, that's what a chakra balancing is. That's the type of energy going into my mind and my chakras. And because of that download of white light, people sleep better. And they actually starting to have a dream recall. Why? Dreams are part of that subconscious realm. Dreams are scalar energy information systems.
God, I dream all the time. It's non-stop.
Yeah, true.
That's an exercise of scalar energy. And this is why some people say they go out of their body during their dream state. Why? Because you go into the energetic state. You become angelic-like, and you're no longer bound by time and space. This is why some people in a scalar energy deep sleep come out of their body. They become spirit-like, and they can roam about. They're not bound by time and space. That's what a deep sleep will do.
Fantastic.
So just hypothetically, I mean, Tesla was talking about having 3 of these so-called power stations placed on the planet, triangulated, so that energy would go right around the planet and be rebroadcast. So at this moment in time, those little units that you got, could people actually, I mean, we're talking theoretically down the track, they buy them and then they could just place them in their home and then...
This is what I want. I want to. This is a small miniature Tesla tower. What Tesla was able to achieve in Long Island, New York, and illuminate light bulbs at a distance, I at least can illuminate light bulbs locally. So what's the point? If I can magnify the output of this instrument 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold, I should be able to illuminate a city.
Yeah, sure.
Without satellites, without cell phone towers, without electrical wires, without substations. We're going to do away with the electrical grid. The electrical grid is effete. It's obsolete.
Okay, so if a GoFundMe page was set up, that would enable some Kickstart funding. Yeah, one could probably do that.
It would. We need to, the important, thank you, Jeff. The important thing is we need to get the message out there. I thank you both for this platform. You know, keep in mind, I'm a researcher. I spend most of my day researching. I'm not in media promotion.
You must have a very understanding wife.
She's great. She's fast asleep. It's right now. It's
She's in scalar energy. She's dreaming.
Yeah.
She's doing
I got-
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, I got up.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, I got up at 2:30 this morning, and she said, "Good luck," and I said, "Thanks, honey." She's fast asleep.
Oh, right. Well, okay. How could we turn our lights off? Are we talking our inner light or the outer light?
The light on that Tesla coil.
Yeah,
Mm.
what a great discussion. Thank you so much.
Well, maybe we can have you back another time and for new viewers that are coming on the platform. So yeah, you are a genius, and we thank you so much for sharing and how you're helping humanity and making a massive difference around the planet, and we're all behind you to help you and work with you. So thank you once again for being an absolute joy and delight to have on the show this week.
My pleasure. Thank you. Enjoyed myself. Thank you all.
Thank you. And same time, same place next week, everybody.
Yeah, but don't forget he's got to go to bed now.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, he's in Florida. It's not too bad. Tom, absolute bloody pleasure, mate. And it's the word mate is highly thought of in Australia when you talk to someone with your
That's kind.
your passion and your dreams, mate. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We're all part of this now. We're about to change the world. Scalar energy will liberate mankind. This technology will level the playing field. Okay. This technology will make it possible for mankind to be liberated.
Fantastic. Fabulous. Okay, get your photos ready, people, and we'll put the email address at the bottom, and message us if you want any more help or support.
Send your photos there. Scalarlight.com. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we're going to